Welcome to Fabulous Feasts. I'm Dr. Donald DeFabio, and this is my kitchen. Fabulous Feasts is all about empowerment. It's about empowering you to make better food choices if you need to, and if you are making good food choices, to keep it up. We're proud of you because I want to share my knowledge of food, of health, of wellness, and of lifestyle changes that you can make to improve the quality of your life by eating right, to maintain the quality of your life by eating right, and to choose foods that are going to decrease inflammation, increase your energy, and enable you to live fuller and healthier. Like Hippocrates says, let food be thy medicine and medicine be thy food. That's what Fabulous Feast is all about. Today is how I eat. That's right. We're going to go through what I would eat if I came home at night, all right? We're going to make a chicken with balsamic glaze, a spinach salad with some grilled asparagus, and I'm even going to make dessert. This whole thing will take less than an hour to have on the table. Let's get started. We're going to need a hot pan, so I'm going to turn the pan on. I'm going to put a little bit of oil in the pan, maybe a couple of tablespoons of olive oil. Olive oil, avocado oil, coconut oil, great way. Avocado oil would be good for this dish because we're going to go very hot pan. Chicken breast, all right. These are sliced already. But a chicken breast, nice sharp knife, slice it in half because we want it to cook quickly. We want to get a nice sear on it, yet seal the juices in. If your chicken's tough, that's because they don't let it cure and age after they slaughter it. Pound it, all right? Nothing wrong with pounding it. Place it in some plastic wrap and pound it. Now, before I do anything else, I'm gonna go wash my hands and get rid of this dish. All right, my hands are washed. We're starting to get some wrinkles on the olive oil. That's good. That means it's almost going to start to smoke. Perfect timing for a little bit of salt and a little bit of pepper on my chicken. And now I'm going to flip it. And we're going to salt and pepper the other side. And again, the pan's just waiting for it to start to smoke. Now, if you're going and getting your spices at one of the larger stores where you're buying, the extra large size bottles of paprika or oregano or pepper, and you only use a little bit at a time because you're not a restaurant, there we go. It's starting to smoke. Now we want to get the chicken in. It's going to sear. Great. You have to, your spices get their flavor. They're aromatics. So you want to maintain that flavor, but if you have a big jar and you're only using a little bit at a time, it's going to lose that aroma. So to keep the aroma, take your, say, pepper that you bought, ground pepper, and you put it in a little container that you can take out every day. The rest in that big plastic jar that you bought, put some saran wrap over the top of the jar, then screw the lid back on, and it reseals it. And that'll keep all that aromatic flavor in there, and it'll stay much longer in the kitchen, because otherwise it turns flat and it loses all of its flavor. This pepper's very pungent, because I just undid that today. I'm not going to move those. I'm going to let those get a little sear on the bottom. Do I have enough room? I will in a moment, and then I'll put this third piece in. Now, for me at night, I would probably just eat one breast of chicken. So I'm cooking for my wife tonight as well. But really, I'm going to make chicken. The other thing I'm going to have is some asparagus. So asparagus were beautiful at the store today. I'm going to put them in a pan there. Those have to cook a little bit. You have to cut off the woodiness of the stems. And you just cut off the stem far enough, there you go, to where it's less woody. All right, so it's going to be about 2 inches with this batch. Yeah, you just look at the bottoms. They're harvested at about the same age all the time. So the batch that you buy, you can usually cut them at the same length. Olive oil. Almost ready. We're going to let it cook some more. And some garlic in here. And then we're going to put a cover on this and just let this sweat down. A little bit of salt as well. So while my chicken's going, my asparagus will be going. And then I'm going to have a little bit of salad to go with it. And we're going to make a nice hot dessert. Some apples that are poached in sweet wine. Great, let me get a lid for that. And let's come back over here. Let's leave that alone. I'll check it in a moment. This is looking really good. That's what we want. Want that sear on the meat. And that's what's going to seal the juices in. Let's get this last piece in here. This guy didn't get any salt or pepper. Let's fix that right now. Good. So that's a perfect sear. Since I put that piece in just now, I may have to take those out while this one cooks and finishes up. So I'll be prepared for that. We don't need this anymore. And this has chicken on it, so let's get rid of that. What we're going to put in here, in addition to chicken, is going to be some red pepper and mushrooms. So let's get the red pepper out. Oh, maybe this is a big red pepper, no more than half. When you're picking out your peppers, you have to make a choice. If you get one that's really, really heavy, yeah, there's going to be a lot of water and flavor, but this could be really big in the middle. So you ever get a pepper and this is all overgrown, it's almost like another pepper growing in the pepper? That's going to be a heavy pepper. So I recommend you look for one that's firm but not too heavy. That means it's going to be most of the flavor condensed on the outside. You won't get one of those big inside pieces. Just take a quick look over here. Yeah, I had a funny feeling this wasn't fired up. I'm having a little issue with this. There we go. Oh, baby. We're going to do flambe later, but that wasn't supposed to happen yet. So, nice. Nice. Great. That one's got to cook a little bit more, but that's fine. Okay? Let that cook a little bit more. Let those rest for a moment. While they're resting, I got to grab a couple of cloves of garlic. We need maybe 2 cloves of garlic in here. And we're going to add our peppers. Slice it in half. And then julienne. So as that last piece of chicken is cooking, I'll add the peppers. Get them started. Then we'll put in the mushrooms. Then we're going to deglaze the pan with some balsamic vinegar and really concentrate the balsamic vinegar flavor, and it'll be very sweet. And then that sweetness is going to go nicely with our salad, which is going to be tart. It's going to have feta cheese on it. How hard is it to make a salad at night? All I got to do is take the spinach, which is what I'm going to have for my salad, out of the fridge. Perfect. These guys can start going. Nice. Just layering the food flavors. We're just layering the food flavors. It's going really, really well. Let's take a quick peek over here to see if it's going. Nice. This has got to sweat down. Not too high of a heat. I'm going to bring it down just a little bit. All right. Just let those go. That can sit there. Looking good. Let's add some mushrooms. Oh, that's a little hot. I can hear it going a little hot. Let's bring that down. Let's add some mushrooms and stir this around. If you add salt right now, the mushrooms are going to throw off their water. If you let it cook a little bit, the mushrooms are going to start to absorb the fat that's in the pan, the oil that's in the pan. This is going a little hot, still going a little hot. I can hear it. I want that simmering. I don't want that frying. Okay? Great. So, mushrooms have absorbed the flavor that's in here. Now I'm going to add a little bit of salt so they can start to throw off their water. And we're going to get ready to get these flavors to cook. Now, you see that little bit of juice that came out of the rested chicken? I want that right back in here. Like I said, this is how I eat. So I'll come home at night, I'll put a couple of pieces of chicken. I'll do one chicken breast, or if it's my wife and I, it's 2 chicken breasts like this, sliced with some veggies. All right? This is real time, guys. You can eat fresh foods. You can take the time to do this. Can you meal prep? Yeah, you can definitely meal prep for the week. There's nothing wrong with meal prepping. But if you have a few minutes to relate to your food, that's a really good choice. If you take a few minutes to make sure that you're eating foods that are fresh, that's a good choice. Ah, that's perfect. If you take a few minutes to make sure you're going to sit down with your family to eat, that's a really good choice. Yeah, just garlic, salt, olive oil. Killer. And it's all going to get done all at the same time. We're going to need another bag. Put it there, be fine. This is looking good. Chicken's cooked. The mushrooms are just about done. Oh, look, a couple of stragglers. I could put those in my salad if I wanted. Nothing wrong with that. And now we're going to put some balsamic wine. Balsamic vinegar. Plain old balsamic vinegar. Now this fire has been pretty hot the whole time. Haven't touched it at all. We're going to get some balsamic vinegar in here and let it just deglaze the pan, and we're going to use it to get all that little, it's called fond, like you're fond of somebody, all those little things that stick on the bottom of the pan, to come up and to thicken. And when this thickens, I'm going to put some fresh parsley on it. It's done. So that'll take maybe 3 minutes. In the meantime, I want to thank my sponsor for today's show, WinBack Tech-R Therapy. Huh? Yeah, WinBack is my sponsor. I don't expect you to know what it is. And since I'm a visual learner, here's a visual explanation of WinBack, today's sponsor. I'd like to thank the sponsor of today's show, WinBack Tech-R Therapy. What is WinBack Tech-R Therapy? Well, it's an electroconductive therapy. I call it my Swiss Army knife of modalities. When I get it set up, it can do lots of different things. It can start by creating some heat into the tissues. That's the capacitive mode. And it's superficial, gets into the muscles, gets into stimulating lymphatic circulation. And I can feel it getting hot already, okay? Move your arm and down. I can do heat therapy with motion. We can do it with exercise. What if we want to get deeper into the joint? What if we want to get down into the tissues where there's arthritis, or the tendons or the ligaments? We use the resistive mode, okay? Then the resistive mode, there's not going to be heat, so I can hold it here. I don't feel any heat at all. But what the patient will feel is like a flushing, like a warmth of tissues. So it's deeper, great for recovery. Sometimes we'll put one on the wrist and one on the back after an upper body workout, or one on the ankle, one on the back for a lower body workout recovery. That would be resistive. Well, if we want to do both at the same time, well, we just hit the pause button, we go to the mix button, and we tell them we want to use our multi-stick. And then take it off pause. This gives us both superficial and deep at the same time. I love this for my arthritic joints, thumbs, shoulders, internal, external rotation. Bring it up, and then go to internal and external rotation. This is fabulous It's our money punch, I call it, for arthritic shoulders. Now, if they can't go up here because the shoulder's too stiff, well, we have them do internal and external rotation down here. Check out my YouTube video on Ed's story. He did fantastic, and look at the bone spur he had with him. That's mix, both RET and CET at the same time. But what if I want to use my hands more? I do a lot of myofascial release, something called active release. So I can use my hands. Now it's hooked up to me. And it's going to come through me and right through my hands. So I have to be careful that I don't get too much heat, but it'll come right through my hands. So let's do posterior capsule. Go straight across. So I'm doing active myofascial release, pin and stretch with therapy coming through my hands. And if you notice, I'm not using this hand because it's connected over here. It doesn't have to go through my body any more than it needs to. He's working, I'm working. We can use the tools, or we can use a metallic tool, instrument-assisted soft tissue mobilization. Yeah, let's do abduction. Reach the ceiling like one, do your lat. Boom. Going through the tool into my arm from the machine, deep therapy, stimulating circulation, breaking down adhesions and scar tissue with the therapy and with the instrument soft tissue mobilization. Relax. That is my Swiss Army knife toolbox that Winback creates. Creates motion. It's gentle. All you feel is a little bit of warmth. It's great for pain control. It's faster for getting people out of pain. And it gets them to where they want to be for recovery, for pain relief, and for flexibility. Better, faster, gentler, Winback. Check it out. So it's been a couple of minutes, chopping up some fresh parsley, and bingo, this is done. Look at that. It's gorgeous. Gorgeous. Got piece of chicken. That's one breast. And then the balsamic, see how it's all reduced, glazed. If you like the garlic like I do, you can eat it. If you don't, like my wife doesn't, leave it around the plate. Some fresh parsley, and bingo. How long's it been, guys? 20 minutes? 20-minute chicken dinner winner. There you go, guy. All right? I can make a winner chicken dinner in 20 minutes. A little bit of fresh parsley. But guess what? Protein's important. Red vegetables are important, high in antioxidants, proanthocyanidins. But green vegetables are important too. Asparagus, done. Okay, hot. Let's put that away. Let's shut this baby off. All right. Plate up the asparagus. And these are simple. I like the garlic, like I said. So I'm going to put a little bit of the garlic off on this side. My wife doesn't, so I'm not going to put any on the other side. Just salt, olive oil, and they sweat down in their own juice. Oh, fabulous. This is a fabulous feast. This is my gift to you to think about a protein with a vegetable over there, with another vegetable here, right? With a third vegetable here, a salad, a simple spinach salad. That's sweet. You'll be amazed how the balsamic vinegar concentrates down and becomes sweet. So let's add some tang. We're going to take spinach, some crumbled feta, and we're going to make a red wine vinaigrette. All right? Red wine vinegar. And I took some preserves, and it already has some parsley in it, so a little bit of chopped parsley is a good idea. I took some raspberry preserves, not jam, because it didn't have all the high fructose corn syrup and all the preservatives. I took the time to find a raspberry jam, okay, or preserves. It's just raspberries that were sealed without other chemicals. and I mixed it with red wine vinegar. We're going to add some olive oil to it. It's about a little bit of salt. I'm going to use my fresh pepper, but you got to mix it up a little bit. It was a tablespoon of vinegar and about a teaspoon of the raspberry preserves, okay? And then fresh black pepper. I want the extra texture, okay? And that's my salad. And how about dessert? I promised you dessert. This is going to take a little time, so while I'm eating that, my dessert's going to cook. So let's start with another pan. Get this fired up. Yeah, no flambe yet. Flambe's coming. Don't need these right now. Gonna take an apple and we're gonna slice it. And then we're gonna glaze it with sweet dessert wine, amaretto, and brandy. Just cut it in half, core it with that melon baller that you only use once a year, or you probably only used once since you bought it until you break it. So I'll have to go get another melon baller, okay? So what do you do if you don't have a melon baller? Guess what? Spoon, demi-tasse spoon, works just fine, okay? Just pop it right out like that, or you can just use a teaspoon, all right? So take that out, make sure there isn't anything else on your cutting board, and we're gonna slice the apple. I like to slice my apple real time for this recipe because it won't turn brown, and I don't need, woo, baby. There's my sweet wine, and I don't need lemon, okay? So I put a little sweet wine in the pan. Pan doesn't have to be quite that hot. You can bring it down a little bit. These pans run hot. So a little bit of sweet wine. Put the apple in. Try to layer it down in one layer. Great. That was a white wine, by the way. Then we're going to sprinkle it with cinnamon and allspice. And we're going to cover it and leave it alone for 5 minutes. And then we'll be back. All right, so it's been 2 minutes or so, and yeah, the apples are caramelizing on the one side because I didn't touch them. The cinnamon, the allspice has gone all over because of the sweet white wine that was in there. So we're going to just flip them once. And let them get a little color on the other side. And then we're going to make a little bit of a sweet glaze with this, with amaretto and brandy. And the fun part about this is you get to do like a flambe thing, you know. And you saw what happened in a moment ago when I turned this stove on, so it could be interesting. Let's put that down. 1 part amaretto and 2 parts brandy, and just give it a chance to start to caramelize. Let the juices of the apple create some crispness with the cinnamon and the allspice in there, and then we add that, the brandy, with the, because that's what's going to give us our syrup. We're not using a simple syrup and we get lucky. Yeah, there we go. You get a little flambe action. And that's where you get the syrup from. Most of the time when you get a syrup or port wine, seared tart or fruit, they're using sugar, white sugar as a syrup. We use the sugar from the alcohol. We're burning off the alcohol. We'll get the flavor from the amaretto. We'll get a little bit of that, not kick, but counterpunch from the brandy. And you get the sweetness from the apple and the amaretto without the white sugar. So guys, you don't have to have high fructose corn syrup. You don't need simple sugar in your foods. You don't need syrupy foods. You can serve this plain, which is the way I have it, or you can put it with my homemade yogurt. You want to make it with a little creme fraiche? Okay. Some whipped cream? Okay. But the bottom line is, here, where's my, there they are, is your apples with your amaretto apples with allspice, ginger, and reduced syrup. A nice sweet treat that's a healthy choice. And why did I leave the skin on the apples? That's a good question. I'm going to make you tune into the next show. No, I'm only kidding. I left the skin on the apples for two reasons. Oh, yeah. Now that's great. Sweet, but it's got that syrupy feel to it. They're organic apples. And the skin of an apple is a very good prebiotic fiber, which means it gives the intestinal organisms that live in your intestines food to live off of. So prebiotic fiber is important. Organic apples, skins are a good choice for prebiotic fiber. Leave the skins on. If it's not organic, cut them off. I'm Dr. Donald DeFabio. Thanks for tuning in to Fabulous Feasts. This is how I eat every day. So can you. I want to share this information with you. Please tell others. Have a great day.